Hey guys, evil Mr. Alex here. I know it's been a while since my last video, but considering Valentine's Day just passed, I want to show you that I still love you guys and I care for support you've given for this channel. But anyways, for this video, I'm going to just give my and my brother's opinion based on what we think are the most powerful and not so powerful weapons in the game in order of weakest to strongest in each category. So we're gonna start off with SemiAutos, your starting weapon in the game. SemiAutos are jack of all trades weapons usable at all ranges. We're gonna start with the carbines though, the weapons you don't really talk about much or hear about much. Because they're not as good as the main three semi-autos, we know that. So for the worst is the M1A1 carbine. Worst on the list because of overall time to kill. However, it does provide the greatest loadout possibilities for paratroopers. The next would be the M1 carbine. Slightly better than the M1A1 just because you can equip a scope on it. However, it's just preference. Next in line, we have the G43. This would have to be the weakest of the three main semi-autos. Has the highest zoom, decent mag size, however has the lowest ROF of the beginning SAs, and also has heavy recoil. M1G would be the next, has lowest zoom scope and lowest mag size, however has the fastest reload in the game as far as main weapons go. The scope though is suitable for most engagements up to 75 meters or maybe even a little more depending how good your eyesight is. Recoil is the lowest of all starter SAs and has higher base damage. SVT would be the best of all the SAs. Mid zoom scope useful for all ranges, tied for biggest mag size with the Guerre, fastest rate of fire, and decent overall stats. Best semi-auto in the category, however, not by far, only because of the scope that it beats out the M1 Grand. Next we'll do SMGs, close quarter weapons, usable up to 50 meters, good hipfire, and easy to use. Start off the list with the PPD. High mag size, lowest rate of fire, but that's not what makes it bad, however. The thing with the weapon is that its recoil and sway is uncontrollable. And only with recent updates, it was able to one-shot people in the face. This weapon can't do ranges over 30 meters. MP34 would be next. 20 bullets with lowest mag size out of all the tier 1s. Iron sights are clear. Overall, the gun has very good recoil and lowest sway with the highest tier 1 SMG rate of fire. Grease gun would be the best of the tier 1 SMGs, second highest mag size at 30 of the tier 1s. Iron sights are slightly obstructive though, but usable for most SMG ranges. Recoil is moderate and sway is low. Overall, the best tier 1 SMG due to good characteristics and no actual weak ones, besides the picture sight. Starting off with the list with the tier 2 SMGs, we had the PPSH, highest rate of fire out of all the SMGs, and high mag size tied with PPD, However, it suffers the same weaknesses of the PPD. Next we have the PPS. Good iron sights, 35 rounds in the mag, that's still pretty reasonable, and slightly lower rate of fire than the MP40. However, unlike the MP40, it has lower damage comparable to that of the Thompson. Next would be the MP40. 32 round mag tied with the Thompson. I mean, 2 bullets is not that much of a difference, really. But, you know, sometimes it can be a difference. Has the highest damage per shot out of the SMGs. Also has the Fuchs bullet, which reduces recoil and sway, turning it into a very accurate weapon. Thompson would have to be the best. 30 round mag, clean iron sights, good recoil, good sway pattern, boasts only the second highest rate of fire, slightly outperforms the MP40. However, it all comes down to preference in between the MP40 and the Thompson. Like, it's just preference. I just feel better with the Thompson when I'm using it. Now going on to bolt actions. Bolt actions are one-hit kill weapons. When modded fully, will kill bronze heavy set with max damage with infantry soldier bolt actions. And with recons with max damage can kill silver set, that's, you know, silver heavy set users. In this section, I will compare both infantry and recon bolt action mods and capabilities together. So starting off the list, I chose the Springfield. Highest damage out of all the bolt actions, but low zoom scope for infantry, and for recon they have low zoom scope until they change it out for an 8x. The highest damage factor is a very situational thing, which can lead to one-shots in certain situations, ergo no heavy set or slight wounding. Next on the list would have to be the Kar 98. Highest zoom scope with 4x, which is very useful for long-range sniping. Overall decent gun with no actual special niche. The scope is the deciding factor. Sounds exactly like the bar too, so sometimes you can hear a BAR or a K98 and they have the exact same sound. So eventually, hopefully the developers will change this in the future. So for the best bolt action, I choose the Mosin Nagant. Strangely enough, has the highest bullet velocity out of all the bolt actions. The scope on the recon is the fine cross, which is good, and the medium zoom scope is useful in all situations. Next we'll go on to LMGs. Very powerful weapons that can be used in all situations. Starting off the list, I chose the bar. You only have a 20 round mag, lowest rate of fire LMG, and long reload. However, it boasts the highest damage of tier 1 LMGs stock with a 3-hit kill through bronze heavy set without any damage mods. Next on the list is the MG34. 50 round mag, tied for highest, decent rate of fire, decent iron sights, overall decent LMG. However, there are better options down the list. DP28, similar to that of the MG34, except has slightly better stats overall. It is to be considered a tier 1.5 LMG currently, because the Russians don't have a tier 2 LMG, sadly enough. MG42 would be next. Fastest firing gun in the game with good damage to match. High DPS output, recoil is on the high end with the high sway though. This gun has some of the fastest time to kill as long as you can land your shots really strong with fighting indoors. And another thing to mention is it has good iron sights. I think has one of the best iron sights of all the guns in the game. But you know, some may argue this may be the best gun, but I put it a bit lower on the list because of having the high recoil and high sway. M1919, 3-hit kill machine, can even do 2-hit kill when modded for damage. Has low recoil, high rate of fire, low sway. Only thing that you can really say is that the iron sights are kind of bad for certain situations, in my opinion. But I have seen a video where the devs did flip down the sight, so in the future they will have a flip down sight option. Next on the list would be the Johnson, similar to the 1919 in terms of damage and rate of fire, but it handles like an assault rifle SMG hybrid with tight hipfire and fast aim down sight. It also costs one less equipment point, allowing it to be used in more hoarder setups or can let you carry more things. The last on the LMG list would be the FG42. Similar characteristics to the Johnson, reloads faster than the Johnson, and it has a scope. The only LMG that has a scope. Even though we place this weapon at the top of all the LMGs, the Johnson and the 1919 are extremely close competitors to the FG42. The only reason why I say the FG42 was placed at the top was because of the scope. But the biggest downside to this weapon is that it's only on the paratrooper currently. Now we're going on to assault rifles. Versatile weapons that can perform at close to mid ranges, generally very forgiving and easy enough to use. STG has a really low theoretical time to kill, so it's low on this list. Iron sights are good. It is the lowest rate of fire weapon of the assault rifle class, and it generally has a decent amount of recoil per shot. It isn't by any chance a weak weapon though, but it isn't really strong in one area. Both tier 3 GE pistols can out DPS this weapon if they're fully modded with ROF. Next on the list would be the M2 carbine. This weapon has fallen from grace just as hard as the MG42. However, it still has a good time to kill and is usable to 50 meters easily. The actual recoil of this weapon is very low. However, it is the sway that makes it shake. It's also usable in hoarder setups due to its one less equipment point cost. I've seen people use carbines with bazookas at the same time. But, you know, honestly, if this gun still had its 30 damage or still had its accuracy like in its heyday, it would still be the strongest weapon in the game. And finally, for the ARs, we have the AVS. This is the strongest assault rifle. The drawback is its 15 round mag and its slow reload, although it does have a bit of recoil with more mods on it. But that's only if you choose to put more mods on it. The damage per bullet on this weapon is the highest of its class with a decent rate of fire to boot. The recoil is high per shot but controllable. It really feels like a dueling weapon where after 1 or 2 kills you have to reload. And finally, we're gonna end it off with pistols. In theory, they're stronger than SMGs, however, they are semi-auto and have an extremely high repair cost when modded for ROF. So starting on the list, we have little dinky pistol model 1934 and the hammerless, which I say are roughly equal. There's not really much to say about these pistols because we don't really use these pistols for that much. Kroven is just a slightly faster than the two pistols, which makes it overall the best of the three baby pistols. But as I say, like, I wouldn't really use this pistol all that much. It has weak damage compared to the better pistols. Next on the list, in my opinion, I would have to say the Nagant revolver has the longest range of all the pistols, and it has high damage, but like the main downside is its ridiculous LMG sized reload, which is very punishable for this weapon. If it had a faster reload, then it would be ranked a bit higher. Next on the list would be the Colt and the C96. I say they're both average, run-of-the-mill pistols. They both are pretty good, but without damage mods, they're simply just average weapons. Tula is just a better version of a Colt, but has the best accuracy of all the pistols and higher RPM. Next would be the American revolver, high damage, swift reload, good accuracy, but with lower ammo count. And finally, the PU8 and the Walther are both neck and neck, have a considerable 3-hit kill range and a higher ROF than the revolver, as well as 2 more bullets. But at the end of the day, what a best gun is theoretically isn't what the best gun is for you. Once again, these are my opinions. Please use what you like and feel comfortable with. If you have any opinions though, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully, I'll be able to get into making more videos, convince my brother to make more videos, and get the viewers back.